All right, hey all. My name's Lex, and I'm here with Thomas. We just opened a
Hello.
case of hello. We just opened a case of the new Spider-Verse HeroClix set. We got our hands on it kind of early. There's more than a couple bricks that's heading around, so a lot of stuff's being opened and things are being spoiled. And we went through our case and we picked out everything that had not yet been previewed on sites like ClixNexus or HCUnits. So to the best of our knowledge, these are all new, but if we show off something you've already seen, our apologies. So we're going to go through these and provide pictures as we do. So starting with number 001, we have Spider-Man. He is Miles Morales. He has the Avengers, Champions, Spider-Man Family, and Ultimates keywords. He has the Spider-Man Family team ability. He has the Wall Crawler trait, which we've seen before, but it says Leap Climb and Free. Place this character in a square of different elevation within 4 squares and line of fire. And he has an attack power called Biosting, which reads Poison. When Spider-Man uses it, give each character damaged by it an action token. Thomas, initial thoughts?
I think that's a really cool piece right there, just right out of the gate. Say 45 points. It's kind of hard to complain with what you get. I mean, you get super senses, you get shape change, you get stealth. Just the biosting. Poison with Miles Morales, always really cool. You have to get up close and have to fight him.
Yep, absolutely. He's deceptive in that he doesn't look like he has a movement attack power, but he gets to wall crawl. So he can jump
Yeah,
4 spaces and then shoot 4 spaces. So, I mean, that's half the map reach in this day and age. So, yeah.
100%.
All right,
No, I'm excited
moving
to play
on.
this piece.
Number 003 is Spider Bite. It's got this cool translucent blue thing going on. Now, it's been probably 6 years since I've read Spider-Verse. I think this is the same character that we saw in Across the Spider-Verse, or it's supposed to be.
Oh,
But
okay.
she's got Spider-Man Family and Robot keywords, and she also has the Spider-Man Family team ability. Her trait reads, I'm just checking my email. Oh, that's not a trait. That's a damage power. Her damage power
Yeah.
reads, I'm just checking my email. Adjacent opposing characters can be targeted by friendly characters with the Spider-Man Family team ability, regardless of line of fire. 3 range, 2 targets, and she does have ignores characters for targeting. Improved targeting.
That's not a bad dial right there. I mean, she just gets right up in front of someone and she just helps her teammates just get an easier shot. That's pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely. I like the idea that she clears things up. She gets double targeted and cap. 3 range isn't great, but it's fine for what she is. Iceman, number 004. He has the wild card, team player and X-Men team abilities. His keywords are
We all
champions.
know what it is.
Yeah. Champions, Defenders, Spider-Man Family, X-Factor, and X-Men. His trait reads Amazing Friends. Adjacent friendly characters with the Spider-Man Family keyword can use Iceman's displayed defense power. That's not bad at all.
Wow.
He gives toughness and barrier to Spider-Man Family keyword characters who are adjacent. And I think there's a lot of characters in the set who opt away from toughness, so it seems relevant. He doesn't open with movement attack, just sidestep, but he does have a 5 range and he does fly around and he gets mid-dial hypersonic. So, what are your thoughts?
That's really good. I mean, it's been a while since we got that cool team base that had the Spider-Man friends.
Yep.
This is a great little update right here. That's going to be relevant for a while, I think.
And that's really funny too, because we just got that pretty decent common Iceman in was that Weapon X or Black Panther? Weapon X.
Yeah, Weapon X. Yeah, that one was good too. I really enjoyed that piece. Was really influential in the sealed event we played in.
Yep.
Did one of those cool super sealed.
All right. Moving forward, December 005, we have another common Spider-Man, also I think representing Miles Morales.
Yeah.
He's got the Avengers, Champions, and Spider-Man Family keywords, and I'm pretty sure he's supposed to reflect Miles' camouflage power, like when he turns kind of semi-invisible. He's got the translucent blue thing going on. He has the Wall Crawler trait, which we previously explained, so I won't go over it again. But his movement power gives him sidestep and says non-adjacent opposing characters can't draw a line of fire to Spider-Man. I know how you feel about that ability. You've loved it since it was on Batman Beyond. It's a great little power.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of faux stealth. Or no, it wasn't. It was actually worse on Batman Beyond, right? Because it was just next to blocking. You just can't draw line of fire at him at all. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really
So
like
actually,
this. That feels pulp relevant there. Just 35 points for just a great dial, 5 clicks deep. I mean, really tough to you can't shoot at him, and you just had to go up and fight a 19 defense.
I kind of like that you get a symbiotic relationship with that Iceman we just looked at, because he has enhancement to benefit Iceman, and Iceman can give him toughness, so he gets to stack on top of the combat reflexes.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Although I will say combat reflexes and enhancement together are an interesting power set. All right, number 006, we have a generic goon. He has the Magia and Brute keywords, and he has the Underworld and Team Player team abilities. His trait reads, anything you say, boss. Yeah. Anything you say, boss. When a friendly character uses leadership and succeeds, after resolutions, you may move Goon 1 square. And his second trait reads, expendable Goon, word on the street. When Goon is KO'd by an opposing character, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. On a 3 through 6, generate a character with an expendable Goon trait on its 15-point starting line, adjacent to a friendly character. So obviously, this is similar to the Goons that we saw back in Notorious, and we've seen since. He's got a 50-point line, which is He's got a 15-point line, which is not so bad. I like Close Combat Expert on a 50. I mean, he's a 10-3. So he seems mostly like what I would expect a Goon to do. And I like the idea that you kind of mobilize them as you succeed on leadership. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's going to be great in Sealed, especially. I mean, he's a 15-point piece that you can just play, and he's team player. You can just give him Sinister Syndicate team ability and give him a really, really good attack to work with and go punch someone hard for 15 points. I mean, what's not to like, right?
Right. It's not uncommon that characters in the set have the Magia keyword, so he can just sidestep carry them on the 50-point line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He can carry them off the trait, too, right? When he moves 1 square with anything you say, boss?
Yeah, say. Yeah, you could absolutely, because he's moving, so he can carry.
Okay, moving on, we have number 007, Inner Demon, Magia, Assassin, Brute, Martial Artist keywords. He has the Underworld team ability. He has a 50 and a 15-point starting line, so he's similar to the Goon we just saw, except I believe these are supposed to represent Mr. Negative's Goons, so they look very similar to the ones that we've seen, a couple of different Spider-Man stories now. I know a lot of people are going to recognize them from this PS4 Spider-Man game. But his trait reads, expendable Goon, we don't die. When Inner Demon is KO'd by an opposing character, after resolutions you may roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, friendly characters can use shape change this turn even if it's lost. 4 through 6, generate a character with an expendable Goon trait on its 15-point starting line adjacent to a friendly character.
That's a really good Goon.
It's very cool, yeah. I have no notes.
I mean, yeah, I'd say the only thing I will say actually is that a lot of these Goons don't have very great higher point lines. This is actually a pretty good line. I could see myself playing this at 50 points.
Sure, yeah. All right, moving forward, we have 008A, Black Symbiote. He has the Symbiote, Cosmic, and Monster keywords. The trait reads, bonding to a host, shape change, steal energy. When Black Symbiote is KO'd, you may place it on a friendly character's card, and if you do, this game that character can use Shape Change, Steal Energy, and Super Strength. Got a 50-point and a 15-point starting line, and a 2 range, which is a very interesting number for these guys. But Thomas, your thoughts?
I mean, that's pretty good. Say, play that in Pulp. You can play that. I'm certain it's going to have applications across competitive scenes. That's really good.
All right, moving on. We have 008B, Red Symbiote. Also has the Symbiote, Cosmic, and Monster keywords with a 50 and 15-point line. We see his traits Seeking a Host, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Shape Change. When Red Symbiote is KO'd, you may place it on a friendly character's card, and if you do, this game that character can use Blades, Claws, Fangs, Shape Change, and Sidestep. This one I think is a little more aggressive than the other one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not a. I actually probably shouldn't say that. I think the Black Symbiote acts a little faster, and this one's more of a tie-up piece. The poison seems relevant. I think Black Symbiote wants to tie you up in Quake, whereas this guy just has damage output.
Yeah, 100%. This guy's just going to be straight aggressive, and that's very fitting for the character too, I would say.
Sure.
Closed out of it there real quick. Say, yeah, just giving shape change, sidestep, Blaze Claws, Fangs, and we've got so many things lately that really enjoy playing off of blades, Ares. Just adds value to that piece, I would say.
Okay, moving on, we've got number 009, Man Mountain Marco. He comes with the Magia, Sinister Syndicate, the Hand, and Brute keywords, and the team player, team ability. I'm going to be honest, he's not a character I'm familiar with. He's got a really straightforward dial. 9 clicks long, charge, sidestep, flurry, super strength, invulnerability, and power. No special powers on the dial, no traits. You know, he's reminiscent of the old days. But he's got, you know, every Spider-Man bad guy keyword you could want. So he just seems like he's a brawler that's hard to kill. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, he'll be great in sealed. You give him a little protection to work with, and yeah, as long as you can keep the outwits away, it's just going to be impossible to get off the board. That's an interesting sealed piece, actually.
Sure. All right, moving on to 010, Spiderbot. He has the Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man family, and robot keywords with the team player team ability. Trait is Expendable Goon, Spiderbot. When they're KO'd by an opposing character, after resolutions, you roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, deal the opposing character 1 penetrating damage. On a 4 through 6, generate a character with an Expendable Goon trait on its 15-point starting line adjacent to a friendly character. They ignore elevation and characters for movement. They're exactly what I want to see Spiderbots be. We haven't seen a super rare that really takes advantage of them. I'm hoping there's one coming. I like the tiny symbol here. I like the shape change. I like the poison.
Yeah, and especially being able to drop another Spiderbot next to someone just to get that poison right away. That's really good. Kind of scary, actually. Improved movement through elevated and through characters. I mean, it can just go and do what it wants. I mean, how much more could you ask for 15 points, right?
Sure, absolutely. On to 011, Ghost Spider. She comes with the Spider-Man family, Symbiote, Celebrity, and Detective keyword. Symbiote is really interesting here. Nothing on her sculpt indicates that she has it. She, of course, has the Spider-Man family team ability, and she has a trait that we're going to see a lot on the set, Friends Across the Spider-Verse. Once per turn, for all friendly characters with this trait, when Ghost Spider hits, after resolutions, you may place a friendly character with the Spider-Man family keyword of less points than Ghost Spider adjacent to her. She's got a 50-point and a 30-point line. She's got improved movement, ignores elevation. Her dials seem fine. I think you probably get more for your points out of the 50-point line, but I don't think the 30-point line is bad either. Personally, I think TK is a really interesting choice on the 30-point line, making her a perfectly reasonable support character. She's got cool named keywords. She's got cool generic keywords, Celebrity and Detective.
I'm always glad to have another detective. Yeah, that's an interesting little dial right there. That support will be pretty good.
Very cool. Oh, you know what? She has a trait on the back of her card too, which I missed.
Hold on, we got a trait.
Hold on. She also says, once per turn, when Ghost Spider is placed by a friendly effect, after resolutions, you may place her up to 2 squares away from her current square. So that's cool.
Oh man.
If she gets
she's like her own Mr. Oz.
So if she gets moved by Friends Across the Spider-Verse, she gets to trigger that. Not if she moves someone, but if she's moved by it. That's pretty cool. All right. On to 012, Spider Clone, Brute, Monster, Scientist keywords, Spider-Man family team ability, Wall Crawler trait, 25-point line, and the other trait is Maximum Clonage. Free, make a close attack, but only to target a character that another friendly 012 Spider Clone hit this turn. That's cool. I have no other comments, but I think that's cool.
It's just straight up good. No notes.
We've got 013 Dr. Kurt Connors, and this is actually kind of a cool sculpt. He's like mid-transformation. You can see his remaining hand has turned into a giant lizard hand. He's got his tail creeping around him. Keywords, he got a lot of them. Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man family, Animal, Monster, Scientist. He's a flexible guy. We see that his trait reads the Connors formula. When Dr. Kurt Connors rolls a single d6 and the result is 6, After resolutions, you can replace him with number 27, the Wizard, on click 4. And he's got Perplex, Shape Change, and Support. So he can trigger his Connor's Formula trait off of his Shape Change, his Willpower, or his Regeneration. There's no click here which doesn't have a way to roll that d6, if not 2.
Yeah, that's neat. Team player. He could steal Spider-Man team ability. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
And I don't hate 30 points for a Perplex that maybe gets to support later. Looking at Goblin Army, number 015. He has the Sinister Syndicate team ability. He is Sinister Syndicate, Brute, Monster, and Soldier keywords. He has the Expendable Goon Goblin Army trait. When Goblin Army is KO'd by an opposing character, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, you may place a character with... Is that Sinister Syndicate? Yeah. In the square Goblin Army last occurred. And they're referring to the team ability there, not the keyword for those listening in. And on a 4 through 6, generate a character with an Expendable Goon trait on its 15-point starting line adjacent to a friendly character. So yeah, they've got a 30 and a 15-point line. I like that they're playing more with the point line flexibility for Expendable Goons. It's not all 50-15. Some of them are just 15. This guy's 30-15.
That's not an awful dial for 30 points at all. Energy Explosion, 11 attack, 3 damage. Yeah, I'll take that. Flying, too. You can carry someone around.
Number 016, Spider's Man. He's got the Spider-Man family, animal, and monster keywords, in addition to the Spider-Man family team ability. He has the Wall Crawler trait, and he has another defense ability that reads Living Hive of Spiders. Super Senses. When Spider's Man uses it and succeeds, after resolutions, you may generate a Spider Swarm bystander, max 4. Free. KO any number of adjacent friendly or Spider Swarm bystanders. Heal Spider's Man 1 click for each bystander that was KO'd this way. For 40 points, he's got a kind of lengthy dial. He can heal up off the Spider Swarms. The Spider Swarms are pretty plain. They're 0 movement with sidestep. They've got a 10 attack with precision strike, 1 damage, 17 defense, and they have Empower, but only for friendly characters that have the Spider-Man family team ability. So that's really crazy. He can make up to 4 of those for 40 points.
Yeah.
He's a great support piece who's also a reasonable secondary attacker. He can bring 5 instances of Empower for 40 points because he has it himself.
Yeah,
a little bit about the character.
I remember the Spider-Man. No, you're good. I remember the Spider's Man that they had made before here. What was that? Earth X?
Earth X, yeah.
That was always sort of meh. This is a great Spider's Man. Holy cow.
Since you brought it up, I'll be the lore nerd here and say this is actually not the same character. Earth X was Spider's Space Man. This is Spider's Dash Man. In Earth X, it was like a mind control kind of character who had a similar name, but Spider's Man is from Spider-Verse, and he is made of spiders. That's why he has like a nondescript kind of blob that's just supposed to be like a writhing mass of spiders. He's a little creepy, but he actually seems very friendly here, which is kind of interesting. He seems like someone who you really want to be around, which is an interesting design choice. We have number 017A, Venom, with the Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man family, Symbiote, Brute, Monster, and Reporter keywords. He also has the Spider-Man family and Sinister Syndicate team abilities. His traits are We Are Venom, Plasticity and Shape Change, and Chomp. When Venom KOs an opposing character of less points than himself, after resolutions, heal him 1 click and score 10 victory points. And he has a 100-point and a 60-point line. He opens with 5 clicks of this defense ability, Lethal Protector. Invulnerability and adjacent friendly characters modify their defense +1. So he's an 8-12, 19-4 with invulnerability. He's going to modify his friends. He's got leadership. This Venom feels like one of those rare Venoms that's a cool team player. Like he does feel like he fits on like a Spider-Man family team. And I don't think we see that a lot when they design Venom.
No, we don't. Not really. And even just having 4 damage at an uncommon for 60 points, that's not bad leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I like this Venom a lot, actually.
Yeah, he's not an easy kill at 100 points. He's not someone that you want to... he's more points than something like Marco, right? But he's, not easy to pick off, and He's very friendly to his allies.
And it's a really cool too. Let's give him that as well.
Yeah, you mentioned before that it seemed kind of evocative of the Sinister sculpt. I think this is going to be a popular common sculpt. It's one of the better common sculpts in the set as far as I can tell. Then we have number 017B, Bedlam. This is actually a character I'm not familiar with, but he has the Symbiote, Cosmic Deity, Future, Monster, and Roller keywords, which is just a crazy lineup of generic keywords on top of Symbiote. His trait reads Symbiote Physiology, Plasticity, Shape Change. If Bedlam is within 4 squares and line of fire of an opposing character, he can't be targeted by ranged attacks. And his damage power is Forking Timelines. Probability control, but he can use it twice a turn if both times he targets a character with the symbiote keyword. His dial is... There's no click on it where he's not going to be a pain in the ass in a Battle Royale setting. You know, I don't see either of those lines obviously getting competitive play, but he's going to show up in Battle Royales, and he's going to show up in Sealed, and he's going to prob once or twice a turn, and he's going to have a 7 with hypersonic speed. He has damage output. He's hard to hit with Shape Change. He's got Impervious. I really like him.
I specifically like that you brought up Battle Royale, because this is just a dial you just get to play, and it is a lot of points, but yeah, that's difficult to deal with. Just the rollouts, just the reach. That's a bit scary. And,
you know, in a Battle Royale format, it's not impossible that the people who are attacking you also have the symbiote keyword. So you want to think twice about whether or not you want to go after them with Venom, or, you know, Spider-Wen had it, or it's like Ghost Spider. Ghost Spider had it. So it's not just being used offensively, it's also being used defensively. Moving on to 019 Spider Bite. Same sculpt as the common, but it's got a full paint job this time. It's not just translucent. She has the Spider-Man family armor and scientist keywords, in addition to the Spider-Man family team ability. Her trait reads 2 places at once. It's written in Elite speak, so it's got, you know, numbers and symbols replacing some of the letters. But it reads Willpower. When Spider Bite uses it and succeeds, after resolution, she can generate a 003 Spider Bite, meaning the one we saw before, on click 1. And then her movement ability is Hacking the Spider-Verse, which again is written in Elite speak. But she says free, place Spider Bite adjacent to a friendly 003 Spider Bite within range. If you do, after resolutions, she can make an attack.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had to go back and look at the mirror real quick, though, just to see what the dial did. Wow, that's a good amount of mobility right there, and
sure,
you can really tie down people.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan.
I mean, she's also not unique, so I could see playing multiple of her 35-point line just for the survivability if you're trying to army build. Because at 35 points, she's a 8-10, 17-3, but she does have super strength and close combat expert. So it's not impossible that she's hitting for 5 with an 11 attack.
That invulnerability is key.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, they did a scroll thing back in the day, and yeah, it had a very similar starting dial, and really, really tough to get rid of that piece in sealed play.
Absolutely. She's also 5 range 2 targets. There's nothing stopping you from just making a range attack off of Hacking the Spider-Verse. Okay, moving on, we have 020 Slide. This is another character, I'm going to be honest, must have slid right past me, no pun intended. His keywords are Magia, Masters of Evil, Thunderbolts, and Scientist. I mean, I'm assuming they're he. They look like one, I'm not sure. They have the team player team ability, and their trait is Frictionless Suit. Slide takes a maximum of 1 damage from close attacks and doesn't take knockback damage. When Slide is hit by an attack, after resolution, you may knock him back in the direction of your choice. Interesting. His defense power is You're never going to catch me, you're wasting your time. He's got energy shield deflection and super senses. So this guy just seems miserable to kill with very little damage output, but he does have the ignores characters improved movement. He opens up hypersonic and precision strike, so he's interesting. All right, Norman Osborn, number 022. He's got every keyword in the book. He's got Dark Avenger, Sinister Syndicate, Symbiote, Thunderbolts, Politician, Scientist. He's got the Sinister Syndicate team ability, as well as the team player team ability. He's 35 points, and his trait is raising a goblin army. Friendly characters that are 30 points or less or have the Sinister Syndicate keyword can use Precision Strike. At the beginning of the game, generate a number 15 goblin army on its 15-point starting line. And then his attack power is Simkarian Influence, Telekinesis, where Norman Osborn uses it to place a character that shares a keyword with him, modify that character's range +2 this turn.
Oh,
wow. So he really gives politicians and scientists just a ton of reach. But again, he's got the symbiote keyword. So he's going to be just some great support for a lot of characters in the set. He's got leadership. Any thoughts before we move on?
Just an incredible tech piece. Wow. I'll be honest, I glanced the dial earlier. I wasn't too blown away by it, but sitting down and reading it, that's a piece worth playing. That's
Absolutely.
a piece worth looking at.
Mr. Negative 023A. He's got the Magia, Sinister Syndicate, Assassin, Martial Artist, and Politician keywords, as well as the Underworld team ability. For some reason, every time I look at the Underworld team ability, I want to call it the Magia team ability. It's not, but it may as well be. Trait. We all have our inner demons. Willpower, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When he uses it and fails, after resolutions, you may generate a 007 inner demon on its red starting line. Free. If Mr. Negative began your turn on the map, replace him with another character with this trait on the same click number. He's got a 50-point line, and he also has a movement ability on the backside, Corrupting Touch, Sidestep, Mind Control. When he uses Mind Control and hit characters gain improved movement, ignores characters, and after resolutions, deal 1 damage to all opposing characters adjacent to a hit target. Wow. Interesting. So that trait that we were just talking about that replaces him with another character on the same click number, let's just move forward to 023B, which is Martin Lee, who of course reflects his civilian alias. But team player, he's got the Magia, Spider-Man family, Martial Artist, and Politician keywords. His trait is the same as before. We all have our inner demons, so he gets to use the willpower where he succeeds on a 4 to 6, but if he fails, he makes an inner demon. And he can be replaced with the other version of himself, Mr. Negative. And he has a damage power, Healing Touch, Leadership, Support. Support is free, but only to choose characters of less points or that share a keyword with Martin Lee. When Martin Lee heals another character, after resolutions, heal him an equal number of clicks. That's really cool. He's going to share keywords with half to 2/3 of the set, because someone's going to have Magia or Spider-Man family. He gets to support is free and then heal himself that many, so it's almost like a soft generation too. And then as long as he can turn a Mr. Negative, he's always going to have damage potential.
I was a little concerned at how soft that Mr. Negative dial looked at first, but having read that now, that definitely gives some real life to that piece. Yeah,
you want to double tap him, right? If you're staring across that piece. Moving to 024, Scarlet Spider. I think this Scarlet Spider is supposed to be Kane. He's not supposed to be...
it does say Kane Parker on the back.
Okay. He's not supposed to be Ben Reilly. He's got the New Warriors, Spider-Man family, and Brute keywords. And he's got the Spider-Man family team ability. He has the Wall Crawler trait, which of course we're familiar with at this point. And he has another trait that reads, oh, what? Mephisto made you do it? Regeneration is free, but only if Scarlet Spider was damaged by an opposing character since your last turn. When Scarlet Spider would be KO'd, you may roll a d6, and on a 6, instead turn him to Click 6, Protected Pulse Wave. Yeah, he seems fine. He does what he says on the tin. He always has the potential to just hit you. He's got super strength and or flurry for all of the dial. He's got charge and probability control. He's got 2 targets. He's never going to be irrelevant in a battle royale, but I'm probably not going to reach for him in the constructed format, just because I think for 70 points he doesn't put quite enough impact on the board, even though he's hard to kill, which is a little bit of a bummer. I know you know him. I was a huge fan of the Amazing Spider-Man, Kane Parker, where he could dangle people over rooftops, but I think this one's just all right.
Yeah, it's fine in a sealed setting, and we have already seen the legacy card for the Scarlet Spider from Web of Spider-Man. Now that one's Ben Reilly, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
And that one is pretty good for what it's worth. So, fortunate if you just care about the name Scarlet Spider. Unfortunate if you were really excited about Kane Parker's specifically.
In my experience, there are more passionate Ben Reilly fans than there are.
I would say so too.
Moving on, we've got 025. It's an uncommon Tombstone. He's got the Magia, Sinister Syndicate, the Hand, Assassin, and Brute keywords, as well as the Underworld team ability. His traits are Cold as Ice, Hard as Marble. When he attacks, modify his attacking damage +1 if a target has 2 action tokens, and he can reduce penetrating damage. His second trait is Running My Own Racket, Willpower. At the beginning of the game, he can generate a character with an expendable goon trait on their 15-point line. If you're the first player, you may generate 2 instead. That's crazy. So he's actually, he comes with a free expendable goon. He's got an 8-click dial where you can't deal penetrating damage to him because he can just reduce it. His damage output is just fine, but he deals more if he's attacking somebody with 2 action tokens. And kind of unexpectedly, because a lot of people, I think, envision Tombstone as a close combat brawler, he gets ranged combat expert on his 50-point line. Yeah. So and then he has a 4 range. Sorry.
Yeah, you play him with that that Osborne that we just saw. Give him some precision strike to work with.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good team to play with right there.
Yeah. Moving on, 026, Gwen Stacy as an uncommon. Spider-Man family, symbiote, and celebrity keywords. It's interesting to note that both Gwen Stacys that we've seen have the symbiote keyword. She has the Spider-Man family team ability, as well as the symbiote physiology trait, which we read over before, but just as a reminder, plasticity, shape change. If she's within 4 squares in line of fire of an opposing character, she can't be targeted by ranged attacks. And then she has Wall Crawler, which again we read at the beginning of the video, but I guess we'll just go over once more as a reminder. Leap Crime, free. Place this character in a square of different elevation within 4 squares and line of fire. She's a respectable brawler. She's got Perplex. She has Willpower and Super Strength. So she's going to try to remove action tokens. She's going to try to deal damage. She's got Shape Change and Plasticity, her whole dial, and she's kind of hard to hit if she's close to an opposing character at range. So she seems fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, not too remarkable, but, nothing to terribly dislike. Decent support, decent attacker.
Sure. Moving to 027, the Lizard, Sinister Syndicate, Animal, Monster, and Scientist keywords with the Sinister Syndicate team ability. I really love the way that this sculpt looks compared to the Kirk Connor sculpt we saw previously. Reptile Regeneration is his trait. At the beginning of your turn, and when he clears, you can heal in 1 click. So you can heal a lot. He is a dolphin, because he should be. He's the lizard. 5 movement, hypersonic speed, so he's going to move around and hit people kind of hard, which feels appropriate. His damage output is never great. It's either a 3 or a 2 with plates, but I don't think he's ever irrelevant.
Yeah, you probably have to, again, this is one of those pieces that you'll have to double tap to get it off the board, because it will stick around if you allow it to heal.
Right. It's so funny to me in this set that it feels like hypersonic speed is almost used as an alternative charge.
Yeah. I was noting the 5 movement hypersonic, and I was like, that's a very poor charge right there.
Right.
A really great charge, I guess. Poor hypersonic.
Okay, moving to 028, Spider-Man. This is Peter Parker. He has the Avengers, Defenders, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man family, and Scientist keywords. He's got the Spider-Man family team ability and the Team Player team ability. He's got a trait that reads Amazing Friends. Adjacent friendly characters with the Spider-Man family keyword can use Spider-Man's displayed defense power. All right. No special traits on the back, but his dial's fine. He's never super mobile, but of course he has the Wall Crawler team trait. So he can just jump 4 spaces and then shoot 4 away, which again in these day and age is that's half the map. So I like him.
Yeah.
I also, this is really silly, I like him getting outwit late dial. I like the idea that
Yeah.
it's just a Spider-Man who's dumb enough to charge in and maybe then realize he needs to outsmart someone. Even if I don't know if it's going to play out that way in game, I understand what they're going for from a flavor perspective.
Right.
Moving on, 029A, Spider-Man 2099, has the Exiles, Spider-Man Family, Future, and Scientist keywords with the Spider-Man Family team ability. His trait is Wall Crawler. And his second trait is Friends Across the Spider-Verse, which we saw before. That's the one where when a friendly character with the trait hits, you can try to place a friendly character with the Spider-Man Family keyword of less points than him next to him. Really straightforward. I think this is actually the first time that we've seen the Spider-Man 2099 at the common, uncommon, or rare rarity. Even back in the unique days, he was always a unique. This is probably the most accessible version we've gotten. He's got one of those like A-B dials where it's 1, 2, 1, 2, where he keeps switching between super senses and combat reflexes. And he has perplex or outwit based on whether or not he has super senses or combat reflexes. He seems fine. Let me double check the backside. Oh, I should have. Traits. I can't read Spanish. I'm not going to try to screw it up. I'm sorry. When a friendly character of less points than Spider-Man 2099 is damaged by an opposing character, after resolutions, heal him 1 click and remove an action token from him. So great, that's what I was looking for. I was like, he seems like he dies really easy for 75 points. But if you're not careful, he's going to heal. He's going to act every turn because he's going to heal up and remove an action token. He's always got a reasonable damage output and blades. So there's the potential that he just hits someone for, big money, no whammies. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he can stick around. He definitely has to be on a Spider-Man family team, but where else would we be really putting this guy on the battlefield anyway, right? So, interesting. It's got perplex up front, so you can make him a little tougher to hit, or maybe you really want to guarantee a hard hit. Who's to say? But there are a lot of things like Empower. You can definitely make this guy hit for his money.
And I love to see that it's 029A because that's suggesting we've got a prime coming. He is at the rare slot, so. All right, moving on to 030, The Spider. Keywords: Shield, Spider-Man Family, Celebrity, Past, Reporter, Spy. He's got the Wall Crawler trait, and he's got a defense ability called the New World. Stop. Combat reflexes, super senses. When the Spider uses super senses, if he's on a theme team, he succeeds on a 4 to 6. And then he's got a damage ability that reads, We are the Queen's Shield. Friendly characters can use Mastermind, but only to choose the Spider. When they do, if they have the Past keyword after resolutions, heal him 1 click.
Yeah, that's an interesting dial for 40 points. He's going to get that stop click. You really have to watch out when you attack this guy. He can get to the fight. 4 to 6 super senses, potentially.
He's actually kind of interesting in that a lot of these pieces, I look at them and say, oh, well, this is going to be best when it's played in this sealed environment, in this Battle Royale format, just adjacent to a bunch of our other friends with these keywords. But he actually doesn't seem like he synergizes with a lot of the rest of this set, and makes me wonder if you want to look at pieces from something like Masters of Time.
That's an interesting thought, actually. He does have the past keyword, so.
Well, and also he heals. Yeah, he gives friendly characters Mastermind, and when they use it and choose the Spider, if they have the past keyword, he heals them. So you can use him as a bodyguard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. There's a lot of past keyword pieces that wouldn't mind what he has to offer here in terms of support.
So moving forward to 032, Ashley Barton. Her keywords are Magia, Spider-Man Family, Future, and Roller. She's got the team player team ability. She's got 2 traits in addition to improved movement ignores characters. Her first is Kingpin of the Wastelands. At the beginning of the game, if you're the first player, generate up to 2 characters with the expendable goon trait on their 15-point starting lines. And trapping inheritors on Earth 3145. Poison. Opposing characters within range can't heal or positively modify their combat values. This is a character I've never actually read a lot about, other than that I kind of know what her deal is. If I remember correctly, she's from the Old Man Logan's storyline, which is why we saw a con exclusive a couple years ago. She is, I'm pretty sure, Hawkeye's daughter? Question mark? So really,
I'm not quite sure myself.
Really interesting. She's a Mark Miller character, like the movie Kick-Ass. It was a Mark Miller book. I see. She's the estranged daughter of Peter Parker's youngest daughter and Clint Barton / Hawkeye. And she eventually kills the Kingpin and succeeds him as the Kingpin of the Wastelands. And more importantly, although they're not going to tell this in a HeroClix set, her superhero name is Spider Bitch.
No way.
Yeah. So Kick-Ass, Mark Miller. So the trait here, trapping inheritors on Earth 3145. I don't remember this in Spider-Verse. Maybe it was a later run. The inheritors are like Morlan's people. They literally feed on different spider characters. So Spider-Verse is about them fighting off the inheritors. But there's your little lore bits, if you didn't know. And I'm probably close to correct about some of those and not exactly correct on the others. So we'll see. Spider-Punk 033. This is another character that we've never had at the common, uncommon, or rare rarity. He's got the Spider-Man family, celebrity, politician, and soldier keywords, as well as the Spider-Man family team ability. He has the Friends Across the Spider-Verse trait, which we're used to. And he has a trait called Rockabilly Freakout, willpower. When he's missed by an opposing attack, after resolutions, you can remove an action token from him. That's kind of neat. He also has improved movement, ignores elevation. He's 85 points. He's got a kind of lengthy dial. And he has an attack power he opens with. Guitar Smash, Pulse Wave. But instead, deal 2 damage if all targeted characters are hit. Once per turn, when Spider-Punk uses Pulse Wave, you may re-roll the attack roll. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Safe from people trying to use a prob outside of his range. Gets a little re-roll of his own rebound.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's fun. I have no notes. This is cool. It's fun. He's a character that we needed a fun version of. He's definitely a primary
version of him.
Yeah. He's definitely a primary or secondary attacker, but he seems like he should kind of lead a small force, so that's fine with me.
Yeah. The only thing I find that's tough is just having leadership on a pulse wave piece.
Right.
But, there are ways to work around that.
Moving on, 035. Firestar, completing the Spider-Man His Amazing Friends trio. She has the Avengers, Hellions, New Warriors, Spider-Man family, X-Men, and Spy keywords. Avengers and team player team abilities. Sorry, just a moment. My cat is trying to scratch itself on my microphone. Amazing Friends trait. Adjacent friendly characters with the Spider-Man family keyword can use Firestar's displayed defense power. And then Plasma Blasts is her attack power. It says Energy Explosion, Precision Strike, Poison. Wow. When Firestar damages an opposing character, after resolutions, you may generate a fire smoke terrain marker in their square. At the beginning of your next turn, even if this is lost, deal 1 damage to each character occupying those markers, then remove those markers. Am I remembering correctly that that's what they played around with in Wheels of Vengeance?
They did. They brought it up a couple times since, so it's neat that we get to keep seeing that pop up here.
She's a rare, so she's not going to show up quite as commonly. But 6 range, 2 targets, running shot. She's going to see quite a bit of that.
Explosion. Can never be mad.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's commonly going to dish out the finishing blow. She's just going to deal lots of chip damage, and I think that's fine in, certain environments, personally.
That's about what that character should do.
Yep. Moving to 037, Stunner. Sinister Syndicate and Brute keywords with the Sinister Syndicate team ability. Her trait reads, Otto, you're back. Friendly characters whose name contains octopus can use Mastermind. but only to choose Stunner regardless of adjacency. Stunner modifies her attack +1 if a friendly character's name contains octopus. Her defense ability is VR off. Stop. At the beginning of your turn, you may KO her. If you do, heal another friendly character that has the Sinister Syndicate team ability 2 clicks. If that character is named Dr. Octopus, heal him 4 clicks instead. I mean, what the hell? She's really good. Her 25-point line is 5 clicks long, and 4 of them have Impervious, and she has Super Strength or Exploit Weakness for 4 of them. And if they don't kill her off the stop click, she can just heal an ally. I mean, she's unique, and her traits are kind of narrow, but she seems really point efficient.
Yeah, there's nothing not to love about that dial right there. I mean, the 10 attack, it's a little rough, but I mean, if you don't deal with her, she's going to stick around. Eventually, she's going to get a hit that really counts against someone.
Yeah, she just seems pretty good. Kind of narrow for Sealed or Battle Royale, but we'll see how it plays out. Moving to 038, Spider UK. I could be wrong on this, but I feel like we've actually not seen this character in Clix before.
I can't think of an instance. I was thinking earlier.
I've seen people confuse him with Spider-Punk. But to the best of my knowledge, is the first interpretation of the character. Keywords: Excalibur, Spider-Man Family, and Mystical. And they have the Mystical and Spider-Man Family team abilities. They have the Friends Across the Spider-Verse trait, and their second trait is Web Warriors, Keep Calm, and Web On. Empower, Leadership. When Spider UK uses any of these powers, friendly characters with a Web Warriors trait within 3 squares are considered adjacent to him. He has Improved Movement, Ignores Elevation, and he has a movement power called the Perfect Cuppa. Charge. When Spider UK uses it and hits, after resolutions, you may remove an action token from a friendly character within range, which is 4 spaces. So, this guy just was being clustered up. There's a perfectly reasonable 45-point line for him. His damage output is fine. I mean, he's going to charge and be a 12-4. He's going to use Empower and Leadership on any friendly Web Warrior trait character within 3 squares. And he can just remove an action token regardless of shared keywords or team ability from friendly characters in range whenever he hits somebody with charge. He doesn't even need to see him. So, the biggest drawback for me is that he's British.
Yeah. I was going to say it. Yeah. No, I mean, and I guess I didn't realize it here at first, but the Mystics too. I mean, that's a punishing piece for 45 points. I really do like that. If you just wanted to run like a team that was just a bunch of cool spider characters at the rare slot, this is actually a piece I could see myself reaching for a lot if I just want to run a Spider-Verse team.
Yeah, I mean, so the only real red flag to me is at 45 points, he has no damage reducers on the first click. If you just hit him for 4, he dies. But, we can't have it all for 45 points.
I hope not.
So yeah, I believe that was almost everything we opened, except we have one more. All right, so we had some technical difficulties, but we do have a legacy card to show off. We have Spider-Girl. This Spider-Girl was in the Amazing Spider-Man set from 2013. She is the uncommon number 27. She has the Avengers, Spider-Man Family, and Mystical keywords, as well as the Spider-Man Family team ability. She has Improved Movement, Ignores Elevation, and her traits are Web Warriors, the Weaver. Once per game, when Spider-Girl is placed by a friendly effect, after resolutions, she may generate a Karn bystander. When Karn is KO'd, after resolutions, generate a Master Weaver bystander in the square he last occupied. And her second trait is, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, is it Aranya? Or Aranya? I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah.
The first time Spider-Girl would be KO'd, instead turn her to click number 2 and modify her attack and defense +1 for the rest of the game. Protected, Pulse Wave. And then she does have a damage power. Leadership, Perplex, free. Choose an adjacent friendly character with the Spider-Man Family keyword. If you do, until your next turn, when Spider-Girl or the chosen character uses Perplex or Probability Control, they may do so regardless of range or line of fire, and that power is called Reading the Scrolls. So her bystanders are pretty straightforward. Karn is a charge, precision strike, and vulnerability exploit weakness piece. And Master Weaver is 8 range, sidestep, Spider-Man family, super senses, probability control piece. So I think she's fine. I don't think she's going to make waves, but she seems okay. You have to kill her twice.
In a casual setting, she's a little bit of a bully. The bystanders are both pretty good.
So I have them question, why, if I'm playing across the table from this piece, why do I care about knocking off her first click? Why do I want to do that?
Yeah,
I don't think I do. And actually,
that's the only thing I was.
Well, hold on. I like her with Spider-Punk for this reason, because Spider-Punk can pulse wave her.
Spider-Punk can pulse waver. I would think you might be a little wary about dealing with 2 damage potentially, but there's not a significant fall off. It's not like she has a very deep dial, so
No.
Even if you take the 2 damage, it's the only thing that okay, I guess it goes to a 2 damage as well for her on click 3. So you'd have to pick the fights, and there are ways to damage pieces off of a top click.
Right. Absolutely. And then we have a couple one-shots. To the best of our knowledge, these have all been spoiled, but it's been a little hard to keep track of this set. So we're just going to go over them anyway. First, we have Spider Totem 0S002. 5 points. Effect. When a friendly character uses super senses and succeeds, after resolution, you may heal that character 1 click, and if they have the Spider-Man family keyword, heal them 2 clicks instead. Seems fine.
Yeah, not bad.
Does what it says on the tin. I don't know that it's going to be great anywhere, but I wouldn't begrudge somebody for playing it on your Spider-Man family team, especially because if I remember correctly, there's a couple awkward point values, like in the 45 neighborhood. So I could absolutely just see someone using this to fill something out, but I guess my concern is like there's other great 5.1 shots in this set and Collector's Trove, and also there's equipment. So, I mean, I don't know. But if you just want something that's on flavor as an element, it's fine.
In a world where Prime Spider-Man has not been banned, I can see this being an interesting 5-point addition.
I'm sorry, sir. He's benched. He's coming back. He's coming back for all of them.
Oh, that's right.
He's not just coming back for his piece. All right. Assemble the Team 0S005. 1 shot. 5 points. Effect. When a friendly character uses leadership and succeeds, you may choose a copyable team ability a friendly character can use. Until your next turn, all friendly characters can use that team ability and treat each other as adjacent when they use it. That's cool. I don't know.
Shield team ability. Let's go.
Sure. I don't know what the best use case for that is, but it seems fine. Moving forward, Canon Event 0S001. When a friendly character is KO'd, after resolutions, you may choose a friendly character to gain immune until your next turn. 5 points. That seems good.
Seems strong.
That seems like it would be playable.
It's any character. It doesn't specify how it happens.
Yeah, it just says a friendly character is KO'd. Yeah. And then 0S004, Assist from Another World, 10 points. Oh, that's neat. So that's the art supposed to represent Spider-Man and Mary Jane and their daughter in I'm forgetting the name of the alt story where they're married.
It's May Parker, right?
Yeah. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character. This turn, that character can't be given actions. That character generates another character from your sideline with the same name as them, but of less points than them. The generated character can't be replaced and is removed from the game at the end of the turn without being scored. So it's an ID card mechanic with a lot of safety valves. I'm sure there's a way to make it playable. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but
I know
I
some
like that they
people
put
are
effort into
really
fixing
nervous
it.
about this card.
Yeah, I'm certain there's something. It doesn't at first glance feel broken to me the same way ID cards did, but
Yeah. No, I
but
agree.
also but also there's no
We'll
crackback,
see.
right? So your opponent has no opportunity to score them. I think that's relevant. Web swinging 0s0003 5 points. When a friendly character that can use loop climb would be hit, you may place them up to 2 squares away from their current square. If you do, that character evades the attack.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, just an auto. Yeah, you miss. The only bummer is like leap climb is so bad outside of wall crawler that this one shot feels really tailored to this set. But that's okay. I mean, not every sideline element needs to be for everything. So,
Right. No, I think it's interesting. We'll see if it has long-term applications.
well, yeah, and you know, as we mentioned going through this, there are a couple characters that just don't have great long-term survivability. So, you know, if this is the tool that we need in our toolkit to help them stay on the board a little longer for 5 points, it seems like there's characters where that's worth it. Personally.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we didn't eat up too much of your time. And, you know, we're going to send these cards over to the various sites, upload these dials, your HCUnits, your ClixNexus, etc. But thanks for tuning in with us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.